This time on EDM Matters, Daft Punk are back in the studio, Diplo joins in on the butthole sunning trend, and Robert Sillerman passes away. All this and more on EDM Matters. Welcome to EDM Matters. My name is Matt Meadow. These are the songs and stories that matter. So the big rumor this month is that Daft Punk are back in the studio. Yes, it's just rumor, and these come up a lot. But the source in this case has a proven track record of getting precisely these kinds of rumors correct. The news comes from a website, Has It Leaked, who's been correct about similar rumors concerning artists like Gorillaz, Taylor Swift, and Eminem in the past. The rumor comes amidst a larger list of artists who are probably getting ready for 2020 releases, like Rihanna, Drake, The Weeknd, and Tame Impala. Guess who released a new track 4 days after the list came out? The Weeknd. Guess who released a track 9 days after the list came out? Tame Impala. So clearly, they have some sources in high places. Of course, what we don't know is what Daft Punk are working on, whether it's production on someone else's track like The Weeknd with Starboy, or if it's solo original material. As always, time will tell. But as much as we'd love artists to stay in the studio and pump out new music, they're humans like the rest of us and need to get fresh air from time to time. Then again, some take that too far. Case in point, Diplo, who's taken it upon himself to engage in the recent viral trend of perineum sunning, or in simpler terms, getting naked and putting your ass up to the sun. The trend began last month after wellness Instagrammer Metaphysical Megan posted an NSFW picture on her own social media accounts saying incorporating butthole sunning into her morning routine has had a profound impact on her health. Diplo has a history of participating in weird trends, so I'm honestly not surprised in the slightest to see him jump on this one. Still, it's definitely one of the weirder things he's done. But if you want to see Diplo live, you'll have plenty of chances, including at Ultra Music Festival next year when he headlines with his group Major Lazer. Yes, the festival is moving back to Bayfront Park after being ousted in late 2018 and being forced to scramble for a new venue, which they eventually found at Virginia Key. It's now back at Bayfront with a stellar lineup including plenty of returning favorites and some new names like Flume, plus some exclusive back-to-back performances like Slander and Keizo and Nightmare and Jaws. And after being forced to cancel all Miami performances last year, Eric Prydz returns in 2020 for the Adam Beyer and Sierra's D performance that should have been. As one of the world's leading festival brands, this is one event that you do not want to miss. Luckily, even if you can't make it, it's live streamed every year, but you still want to be there in person. Now, flipping the tone a bit, unfortunate news broke late last month of Robert Sillerman's death. The 71-year-old was known in the EDM community for his role as CEO of SFX Entertainment. During his tenure in the position, he oversaw many events, including Electric Zoo in New York, as well as the final year of Tomorrow World in Atlanta, one of the worst publicized events in EDM history. He made a name for himself by buying up a series of regional promoters and consolidating them all under his SFX Entertainment in early 2000s. He later sold the company to Clear Channel Communications in 2000 for a reported $4.4 billion in what would eventually become known as Live Nation. He resurrected SFX in 2012, but stepped down as the company declared bankruptcy in 2016 and was rebranded as Lifestyle. Despite some very public failures toward the end of his career, Sillerman's legacy in creating the landscape for the current market in tour promotion cannot be understated. Speaking of legacies, it's time to talk new music. UKF, one of the most well-known brands and YouTube channels in dance music, just celebrated its 10th anniversary last month. And in celebration of this huge milestone, they just dropped a massive compilation album. The 37-strong track list for UKF10, 10 years of UKF, is a who's who of top-flight talent from across drum and bass, dubstep, and beyond. We're talking fresh cuts and special deliveries from Wilkinson, Camo and Crooked, Matt Zoe, Cove, Graphics, Prototypes, Matrix, Futurebound, Teddy Killers, MLK, 1991, AC Slater, and many more. UKF is especially important in the bass music world for its role in pushing some of the most iconic songs in dubstep's formative years. I'm talking Flux Pavilion's Bass Cannon, Zed's Dead's remix of Eyes on Fire, Mode Step Sunlight, and tons of early Nero remixes of artists like LaRue, DJ Fresh, and Deadmau5. It also featured another dubstep legend pretty early on, Rusko. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention Rusko in this episode for a couple reasons. Most relevant to this segment, he just dropped a new EP called Genghis Danger. And also, I just got a new tattoo of his logo that he personally watched me get. So I gotta give him a shout out, you know. Anyway, the 4-track EP has a pretty good variety with a couple classic sounding Rusko tunes, a drum and bass track, and the first track, Go Up, which it's just a beautifully melodic piece of bass music for Rusko's repertoire. I saw him play this live back at Lost Lands in September and caught an epic video of him shredding the air guitar during a solo toward the end of the track, and it's still one of my favorite moments of that festival. Last but not least, the Grammy nominations came out for 2020, including one for Skrillex for his track Midnight Hour with Boys Noise and Ty Dolla $ign, making it his 13th Grammy nomination. That's super cool, but it's not what I want to talk about. The producer took to social media to express his thanks to everyone who supported the track, stating, "We would not be here if it wasn't for you." But he didn't end the video there, no, as he continued saying, "I'm just in the studio finishing my albums." Yes, albums. It's said clearly enough that it couldn't really be a mistake, but I also can't really help but be skeptical either. After all, this is Skrillex we're talking about, and we've been waiting for a new album from him for years. And now we're getting albums? I mean, he also has Dogblood and Diplo mentioned restarting Jack U soon, so who knows? Anyway, that'll do it from us here at EDM Matters this week. Stay tuned for another special episode next week and our first cooking interview in 2 weeks with a very special guest. I'll see you next time. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this episode of EDM Matters. I really appreciate it. If you did like the video, give it a like or leave a comment below. It really means a lot to us. If you want to see the previous episode, click here. And if you want to subscribe, which we hope you do, go here. Otherwise, we'll see you next time. All right.